when it comes to entertaining us and ushering us into our day. So with that said, let's all rise for the national and East African anthem.
Please let's be upstanding for the national anthem of Kenya and the East African anthem.
Ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na udugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi. E Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Asanteni sana. Let's take our seats as we appreciate Kayamba Africa one more time for the best known for performing traditional African music and dance. We truly do appreciate you, sirs. Now, I'd like for us to get some information from the hotels when it comes to housekeeping rules. Could we please have Florence? This lovely lady over here is from the Ola Sereni team. Let's appreciate her as well. Tumpe. Hi. Florence.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Florence Shimela. I'm here to brief you on the safety of the hotel. I take this opportunity to welcome you to Ole Serene Hotel. The room where you are is Pride Hall. Pride Hall is on ground floor of the hotel. In event of emergency and evacuation has been ordered, I urge you to remain calm. Use the fire exit, they are labeled in green, and behind you, the glass door are sliding doors. You exit the hotel to outside parking where we have a fire assembly point. The hotel is fitted with fire detectors. In event of alarm, I urge you to remain calm until we communicate through the fitted speakers. Today we do not have any fire drill, so do not expect interruptions during your sessions. We have safety compliance team. Thus we have the first aiders and the fire marshals. In event of emergency, the team is on duty and they'll be here to guide you through our evacuation plan. We have a clinic that operates us from 8 to 5, and after 5, we have a doctor on call. In event you are here and you're not feeling well, we have a team of dedicated security personnel who will be around here. Kindly reach on to them and they'll guide you to, they will take you to the clinic. The washrooms are, you use the door, the entrance door. Gents are on the right-hand side and ladies on the left-hand side. I wish you a very successful day.
Thank you very much, Florence. Haya basi, naomba niwasalimie tena. A very good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association Kifwa official launch of the Strategic Plan 2025-2030 and the unveiling of the new Kifwa logo. If you just give me a second to introduce myself, my name is Nina Shaban. I am a business news journalist, anchor and reporter under the Nation Media Group, precisely NTV, and I am more than honored and humbled to be your host all through the event today. Now, just a quick run through the program. We'll be having our opening prayers, which we've not heard yet. Together, they're going to be conjoined with welcoming remarks, after which we'll take a look at the history of Kifwa, and then following suit will be the unveiling of the new Kifwa logo by our esteemed guests. There'll be highlights of the inaugural strategic plan for 2025-2030, remarks of, or rather remarks by the national chairman, remarks from the private sector, remarks from FIAFA. Of course, we're going to be enjoying entertainment from the amazing Kayamba Africa team, and then we'll get remarks from Kenya Ports Authority, remarks from the Kenya Revenue Authority on behalf of government agencies and a trade facilitation. And then we close it up with the keynote speech and official launch of the Kifwa Strategic Plan 2025-2030 by our chief guest, who is Honorable William Kabogo. Then, of course, we get a vote of thanks from Kifwa representative, Mr. Wycliffe Wanda. Now, without further ado, to be praying for us, and to be giving us the welcoming remarks, let's clap for the Secretary Board of Trustees, Mr. George Kidanda, Managing Director and Lead Consultant at Freight Logics Kenya Limited for 18 years and 11 months now. Naomba tumpigie makofi hadi afike hapa mbele. You know, this is the man presenting us to God. We better clap for him properly for us to see success, eh?
Shall we stand up as we seek the Lord in prayer? Our dear Heavenly Father, we humble ourselves before you this morning with thanksgiving in our hearts. That after so many years, dear Lord, today we stand here to witness the launch of the strategic plan for Kifwa. We thank you for our guests who have arrived and those who are yet to come. We thank you for our leaders who have come up and proposed this strategic plan for us. As we go through it, let your will be done upon us. For a prayer and thank you in the precious name of our Lord Jesus Christ. You may be seated. I would like to begin by thanking all of you for joining us here today on this great occasion. Kifwa was formed way back in 1995. The Constitution of Kifwa was launched in 1999. It has taken us up to this time to launch our strategic plan. But we say it's never too late. As you may be aware, Kifwa has been in existence for over 2 decades, and you will agree with me that some of the collaterals that we use have become outdated and in a way boring. In our efforts to revitalize our brand's image, logo gives me much pleasure to welcome all of you here this morning as we launch the Kifwa 2025-2030 strategic plan, as well as the unveiling of the new logo. Let me also, in a special way, welcome some of the dignitaries who are gathered with us here today. You know that my friend and the former neighbor in Mombasa, Honorable William Kabogo, will be here in a while. I know that the representative of the Commissioner General of Kenya Revenue Authority is also in the house. I want to recognize in a very special way the chairman of Kifwa Board of Trustees, Elder Sam Njoroge, who is seated here with us. We welcome all the private sector captains of the industry and all of you Kifwa members. As we are aware, the strategic plan process is not just about developing and having a document in place. It is more about prompting us to think of new ways to stay relevant and competitive in the world and move out of comfort zones and grab the opportunities to success in the ever-dynamic industry. The strategic plan being launched today is about the actions that all of us want to take to secure our future in trade facilitation. It is about our dreams and aspirations and detailed, actionable steps to achieve that. Since its inception, as we will hear in the course of this program, Kifwa has enjoyed unwavering support from various partners, many of whom are here today, and we are delighted that you made the time to be here. It is with this regard that we are gathered here today, not only to witness, but also assure our stakeholders of our continued collaboration and further successful engagements in future. Needless to say, the strategic plan will also provide us with a framework to help us set goals, and I urge all of us to continue working together to make this a reality. It's a 5-year framework, and we call upon all of us to align with it, not only to support our industry, but also for the growth of our nation's economy. Our chief guest, who is yet to come, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to express sincere appreciation to our stakeholders and partners in believing in us and attending this occasion. We thank you for your generous contributions and look forward to continuing with you on our journey. Again, I thank you all for gracing this occasion, and I wish you all a memorable event as we unveil our new logo and officially launch Keynote 2025-2030 strategic plan. May the Lord be with you.
Let's appreciate Mr. Kidanda once again. Thank you very much. Now, to give us the history of the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, that is also known as Kifwa, let's give a round of applause to its founder, Samuel Njoroge. Now, Sam has been associated with international freight, forwarding, and customs brokerage operations for over 25 years. Makofi kwake tafadhali. Thank you very much. You know, also when we clap for people, we give them that energy and the oomph. Huh? How do you feel up? Huh? Asanteni.
Good morning, everybody. You are well? I can see that, of course. Thank you very much. I want to, first of all, before my speech, which touches quite a lot about this industry, to say karibuni sana to Kifwa, and a lot of you and a lot of the industry gurus are here and have been calling to compliment you because of the good work you have done of this launch of the strategic plan, Kifwa, for 5 years. So you all take my compliments before we start because of the good job that Kifwa in the totality has undertaken, every one of you in the industry. I am also happy to recognize a few that when we started Kifwa, those many years ago that my secretary has pointed out, we had TAFA for Tanzania, and UFA for Uganda, and Kifwa for Kenya. I am happy to see that we have now an emerging team from the Southern Sudan, and the president of that association is here. Kindly give him a thorough clap, please. Omar Hussein, also from the Zanzibar Freight Forward Association, kindly. Thank you very much. I know that since John Madenga is here and he may be giving some of those history, we have Zanzibar, we have now Zanzibar, we have also Burundi, we have Rwanda, and I think, if I'm not wrong, Somali has come into board of the Eastern Africa community. I don't know whether they have formed their association or not, but that is what we look forward to do. So today we launch the inaugural Kifwa 2025-2030 strategic plan. This is an occasion which is memorable and in our heart, and we assemble here to celebrate that good work that has been done, like what I've said. I stand honored completely, not only to witness, but also to be part of this momentous occasion. I have been asked to talk a little, just a little, because of time, about Kifwa. Kifwa started way, like what George Kidenda has said, in 1996 coming to 1995, when negotiations were done by people of this country and they got together and they decided the country had to have the indigenous people of this country take the mantle of the industry. Beforehand, this industry, when we came in, was in the hands of multinational companies, national multinationals, and we thought, why don't we come in and we enter our own people into this big cake? We did not want a big one. After independence, we wanted just to take a bit of that cake. So we got together and we decided that two associations that were there then, the KCFWA and the Kenya Association of Freight Forwarders, had to get together so that we give way to one national association. This was not only a requirement of this country, it was also a requirement of the International Freight Forwarders Association based in Zurich. That's the federation that wanted also to work with one association. It was also a request by the international organization, the World Bank, IMF, that a voice of one national association would be an easy way to deal with Kenya. So when we got together, we negotiated hard in the spirits of give and take. We weren't the best, either Kifwa or KCFWA. Through many meetings, we came up with a group of elders mixed between the multi-international companies, national companies, the small freight forwarders of the region and of Kenya, and we formed Kifwa. Those who played just a part in the beginning of this, some of them from CAF, the other one from KCFWA, is Mr. Ezal Ndegwa, who was SD Transami then. He was the chairman. There was Enoch Sabwa, who was the Home Secretary of this association in the beginning. And I may be happy to see whether Henry Moro, who was the first treasurer, may be here with us. Henry, are you here? If not, then we had Auni Banji, who is also invited in this meeting. We had people like Mr. H, the late Mr. Ngaroya, the late Oscar Di Mero, Mr. Majid Bra, Mr. Kalaya, Mr. Niru Shah, the late Niru Shah, Mr. Mbogwa, and the mother of Kifwa, Jacinta Maganda, among others. So the list is big. If I mention it, it will go long. And the sacrifices that were done were hefty. That I took the chair and I became the first chair does not give me the reason to believe that I was the founder. That team was the founder. On the spirit of give and take, some of them were vast than the small associations because they were working. SD Transami is a multi-international company. Nauticals were very big. Most of you know Nautical. AMI, those group of companies. When they gave way, they said, no, I think let's give some Njoroge the seat so that the small forwarders will feel comfortable. And the industry could be able to move to the next level. So this is what happened. It was a spirit of give and take. They gave the small, SAMSA International Agency was my company, remains my company. And it was registered in 1974. So they agreed to give the small freight forwarders the mantle to see whether they could start and forward this association to where it is. So I will not actually take that greatness and that feel that Sam Njoroge is a founder. I am a part of a very strong team that founded the association. Arising from the need that was there of the young freight forwarders and what the country needed, we were being faced by a lot of problems as small forwarders in the country. Don't forget your role as freight forwarders is crucial. And I would like to repeat what we were talking about then. You are the jugular vein of that leads to the heart of the economy of this country. Gentlemen, that's the way I would like you to feel. So when we took on your exports, entire export of the East African that goes to the international world passes through your hands. The arms of this country, when they come to this country, including toward the government of the Eastern Africa, including Southern Sudan, now, today, passes through freight forwarders. All their exports and the imports comes through your hands. All this revenue that is collected, and I'm happy that the representative of the Commissioner General is here. You are one of the key facilitators of the revenue collection for this economy. So I'm trying to psych you. I'm trying to psych you, to psych you to feel that importance of the role of a freight forwarder in this country. So, with the problem that we had and the responsibility of the Port of Mombasa, yet they were undertaking activities that were critical to the nation's economy, like what I've said, against the backdrop that every import every export of this country, every clearance channel navigated through the country's ports bears the silent contribution of these professionals seated here today. Arising from the need to create a unified and credible voice for this industry, therefore, for a better facilitation of trade and coordination, we took the initiative to form this association, not merely to represent, but to elevate the standards of customs clearance, streamline trade practices, and advocate on behalf of its members across the regulatory and policy platforms. Ladies and gentlemen, the association which we formed, like I've mentioned, was Kifwa, arising from all those associations. This became the apex body, Kifwa, and the sole representative of members whose objectives was to organize united actions to protect and promote the interests of the professionals in all aspects at the national level and to coordinate the activities of members, collecting and disseminating information to them, the subject of common interest to everybody in this industry. The association was, of course, like what I've said, founded on the principles of unity of service and service to represent the collective force of licensed clearing and forwarding agents, and needs to see the growth so that we can see the growth of the entire industry in order to serve the manufacturers, the country's needs in terms of promotion of trade. It is through their timeless commitment over the years that trade continues to flow, revenue continues to rise, and compliance continues to be enforced. We also spend a lot of time promoting industry knowledge in trainings. And on this, we also played a complete role of inviting the international world, theater included, so that they can be able to come and give us that international accreditation to whatever trainings that we will do. For those who have been with us, you remember the question of the COC, Certificate of Competence, that we gave to about 43 members of this industry, the gurus that had started early in the years 1950s, coming to 1963, coming to 1974. Those people would not have sat into a class so that we qualify them. Chris Bichage, you remember, and I hope you are there, and I can see you. Give a clap to him because he was a part of that. We gave people, and we organized with the Fiat to members of this country and the region, those who had served this industry before we come to where we are, to be given a certificate of competence by being the gurus of the industry without going to class. The qualification was years, and as you can see in my hair, I also got one. So I made sure that that diploma came to me. We also went further. I'm reading off cuff. We went further and requested theater to come to Africa through the appointment of their own, your own here within the continent, and they appointed one of you to the board of the International Freight Forwarders body, that is FIATA. In 2003, after serving in their board, we became, from this association, Kifwa, the first to be nominated to become a vice president of FIATA on the international forum. I started serving in Geneva and Zurich, where it's Geneva, from 2003 as the vice president until my resigning in 2011 after serving our term, diligently serving the continent of Africa, and not only this Africa, I was serving every country of the world. And they retired me honorably by giving me not much money, Mr. I was given a silver pin. As, normally when you serve your term of 3 terms, you get a gold when you are president, a gold pin. I'm happy, and I compliment Kifwa that when I went, I don't know whether this is another gold or is a silver. So they gave me a silver as a retiring vice president so that I retire from the Zurich Association. By the time I left, the membership of the world was 46,000 members, association members, not individual members of the world. And those are the people you were taught to represent as Kifwa. It is from this association, and I would like you to get it very, very clearly, that I rose to that position. It was not by my own competency, but it was from Kifwa. So you rose from, and Madenge is here, I can see Madenge. You rose from Fiafa, Kifwa, Fiafa, to Fiata. And that's the end. We also brought, for that training that we are talking about, we brought the best TOT teachers through the siphoning from Zurich, and we got teachers who came to train TOT for this region. We trained Tanzania. I'm happy the Zanzibar you are here. We got some people from Tanzania. We got some people from Uganda, and we were trained. We got teachers to train our universities so that we can found the training for freight forwarders in the region. That you did not pay a cent. It was fully funded by FIATA through the siphoning of your vice president. So with that, we got the best teachers of the world to come and teach you so that you can to train your teachers. We got this Valentine, who is the best trainer based in England. We got another one, Peter Wong, from the university in Asia, and Marcos Shoni, who you interacted completely. And the best teacher also in freight forwarding comes from Singapore. They all launched here, and the School of Monetary Studies, they paid throughout to stay here so that they trained our own teachers. And one of the trained teachers was Sam Jeroge, and I got a certificate by sitting in class diligently. Mr. Madenge, I think you are one of the evangelators. I don't know whether you qualified me just because I was the chairman, but I got a certificate by not competence this time, but by sitting in the class and doing the exams and passing that examination. Ladies and gentlemen, the evolution of this sector has been a fascinating journey that mirrors the advancement in transportation technology. The 20th century witnessed the consolidation and professionalization of the logistics sector, driven by the globalization, technological advancement, and the growth of international trade. Established companies emerged offering comprehensive logistics solutions, custom clearance and warehousing, the advent of containerization further revolutionized the industry, streamlining cargo handling process and reducing costs to the bare minimum. Today, I am proud to say that most of the clearing agents are professionals out of the trainings that we have talked about and out of hard work and dedication. We have also teamed up with the Revenue Authority to train our people. We have received a lot of support, I must say, from Kenya Revenue Authority. And over years, the Commissioner Generals that have been there have given us a lot of Wawero, John Musafari, right? And Johnny Munge, all of them have been part of the growth of Kifwa. As the world of commerce embraces digitalization, complexity, and cross-border agility, the role of clearing agent must also evolve. And it is gratifying that this great institution has continued to embrace change and has remained steadfast in its mission of to be relevant. That is what my secretary said, to the dynamics of trade by advocating for a good business environment for all stakeholders in the business of clearing, forwarding, and warehousing services in this country. As we usher in the great milestone that we are here to do, let us take a moment to reflect on how far we have come and the many achievements we have made together as an association. I am proud to report that we have made commendable strides in capacity building for our members, particularly in training. Kenya was the first East African community country to enroll and roll out the East African Customs and Freight Forwarding Practice Certificate course, which was widely embraced by our members. We were also the first country in the region to receive the Charter of the Theatre Diploma, a major recognition on the global logistics stage, although admittedly, the uptake of the program was not as strong as we anticipated in the theater. A significant turning point for the association was during the tenure of Aoni Banji as the national chairman in 2016, when Kifwa underwent a major transformation and relaunch. The moment marked a renewed sense of purpose and strategic direction for this organization. As today, we have witnessed a significant milestone again with the government support in the enactment of the Kenya Custom Agents and Freight Forwarding Bill. I hope you are all aware about the bill. This marks a new chapter in the recognition and regulation of our profession, and we commend all the stakeholders here and in the country who played a role in making this a reality. With all said and done, today, of course, marks the moment in the history of Kifwa that we have all been waiting for. We are honored and overjoyed, and I would like the faces to show, to witness a milestone today of its own kind as we humbly and proudly launch Kifwa Strategic Plan 2025-2030. This plan represents our collective vision, renewed commitment, and bold steps towards shaping the future of this industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I must also recognize that government has carried out a series of reforms in its own house to improve the efficiency of cargo clearance. The reforms focusing on infrastructure such as the one-stop border posts and information technology are a big transformation aimed at making local and international business efficient, there is still more to be done, not only for the benefit of the importers, but also the consumers who will receive their goods much faster, thus saving time and money. Looking ahead, I would like the association to reflect not only to who we have become, but should aspire to be a more unified, disciplined, and visionary community of the trade professionals, prepared to meet the demands of the dynamic global market. I also urge the association to continue promoting the public-private sector partnership and dialogue with the relevant government ministries to create a conducive cross-border trading environment with the prompt and correct revenue collections. I know the Commissioner General is very happy to hear about that part. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we can all do even more better for the industry, for our nation. I move on to assume that as we navigate to the complexities in the logistics sector, it is my conviction that the association will continue to shape the future of not only this sector, but the trade facilitators of the whole world. I know as I finish, I know there's a team that has worked tirelessly to produce this document. The SWOTs, the thematics, so that it will be done. The weaknesses, whatever, what are we strong in? I would like, away from this strategic, to say one thing, that the performance depends on serious commitment of this association and the board. I do not want you to be affected by the annual elections where you are here 2 years and then you're out, so that the strategic plan does not see the light of the day. Terrible commitments required, dedication, and ownership of that strategic planning. To be able to come up with this association, we had sleepless nights. At a material time, I had a question in the meeting when we were negotiating, when the small clearing agent thought that they were going to be swallowed by the big brothers. And I told them, in the meeting, I asked them kindly to remember, those are our brothers, those are not our enemies. And the best thing, according to the biology I did, they taught me to dissect an animal so that you see what lies in the stomach. And that's how they agreed to join hands so that we form Kifwa. So we dissected the big animal, and we found that the blood is our blood. The intestines are our intestines. And actually, the veins look like our veins. And with that note, we agreed to join them. With that note, I wish to recognize also a few as I finish. I know there are members, a lot of chairmen who have come along after I left to become the chair. We recognize the good work. Those line chairmen, Chris Bichag, Ojonyo, Makomere, Kagumos, and up to today, the chairman who is sitting. You are carrying a very big body. Umebeba makumbi kubwa sana ya railways, nyuma. You are carrying the entire industry. Kindly represent as well, because you are carrying a lot of weight. We want to work with you, and these people recognize you. Kindly push us ahead to the next millennium. Thank you very much.
Well, let's another round of applause for Mr. Sam Karanja. No one better to give us the history of Kifwa rather than this man, and we do appreciate him. Now, for the unveiling of the new Kifwa logo, Keynote CEO David Ngarama, kindly join me on stage. If you'd like to come round, okay, that's fine. All right. So, David, if you could just allow me to tell you something about him, for those who don't know, David was appointed the Chief Executive Officer of the Keynote effective since July 2023, after joining Keynote in 2013, and has served in various capacities that include the Director of Trade Facilitation and the best choice to unveil the new Kifwa logo. So if we could all just turn to our screens. David, if you could please stand this side with me. Would like to take a look at the Kifwa logo journey, starting now. And there we are. To be the leading force in shaping a professional, sustainable and digitally enabled logistics sector, and that adheres to global best standards. A round of applause. Your sentiments, David?
Thank you so much. Kifwa can only get better. From where I stand, where I sit as government, and congratulations to Frederick Aldo on your appointment as the chair of Kifwa. Kifwa has come from very far. And even as we celebrate the new and rebranded Kifwa, Kifwa can only get better. I know from where we sit as government, there's a lot that we've done with Kifwa, but I'm looking at a future where there'll be more collaboration between Kifwa and government, because I know one of the things that Kifwa stands for is making the trade environment better. Those of us who are in the trade space, we know that Kifwa is one of the shakers and movers of international trade in this country. Not a single consignment leaves this country or gets into this country without the input of Kifwa. It is a sleeping giant. And with the branded Kifwa, we want to see the giant in you. We want to see a more professional Kifwa. We want to see better engagement and more collaboration with governments. So congratulations to Kifwa as you rebrand and as you launch your first ever strategic plan. I think it's the first in the space. So congratulations and long live Kifwa. Asanteni sana. Elena.
Shangwe na vigelegele for the new Kifwa logo. Najua hiyo story tafadhali. Let's usher in Kayamba Africa. It's a milestone, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been sitting for a while. Please just stand and we stretch a bit. Just stand and we stretch a bit.
Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda. Tushangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda. Kenya yetu tunayoipenda. Twajivunia sana tukijiita wa Kenya, nchi yenye baraka. Twajivunia sana tukijiita wa Kenya, nchi yenye baraka. Kenya nchi yenye baraka. Kenya makao yetu ni nchi ya usalama, kamwe hatutaiacha. Kenya makao yetu yetu ni nchi ya usalama, kamwe hatutaiacha, kamwe hatutaiacha. Unayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote. Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote. Haki kwa watu wote. Ukipenda Kenya ujitenge na mahambo yenye kuvunja amani. Ukipenda Kenya ujitenge na mahambo yenye kuvunja amani. Hatutaki matata Kenya. Hatutaki matata Kenya.
Haya, kila mtu shika roho yako, shika roho yako. Ambia jirani yako namna hii na umwimbie kwa dhati. Umwambie,
Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, nchi yenye upendo, hatutaiacha daima na milele.
tuimbe pamoja twende.
Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele na milele. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele na milele.
Tujipigie makofi tafadhali. Asante.
The new unveiling of the new Kifwa logo. Once again, tujipigie makofi. It's a big, big milestone for Kifwa, and thank you very much, Kayamba Africa. They never disappoint when it comes to martyr celebration and entertainment. Now let's, we are at this particular juncture, we'd like to take a look at the highlights of the inaugural strategic plan 2025-2030. Another very big milestones and another big reason why we are here. So let's welcome Dr. Joshua Aroni, from MBEC Consultants Limited. Kindly grace us with your presence. And he is a highly experienced in financial analytics, investment analysis, accounting, and forensic investigations. Daktari, tafadhali. Asante sana. Kindly grace us with your presence. Ya mwisho tu akikuja. Basi. Tusije tukachoka. Daktari?
Yeah. Good morning. Happy to be here. It's been a long journey. I've been part of preparation of this strategic plan, along with my partners. I think it would be good for me just to introduce my colleague, my partner, Chastas from BEC. We have worked together in preparing this plan. If you look at this screen here, actually it represents the ecosystem of the logistics sector, from the port, from the airport, from the model split road, rail, and thankfully this is actually the SGR. And basically what is missing here are the other soft parts, like what makes it work. Partner government agencies, Kifwa, clearing forwarding firms, and all that. But basically, this represents what it looks like to have ecosystem of the clearing forwarding sector. And how was it to formulate this strategic plan? There have been a lot of engagements with stakeholders. A special information collection tool was prepared, which was shared with various partners, members, and we got more than, I think, 8 respondents. And basically, that formed the basis of what the challenges in the industry are, what the opportunities are, the threats, and then, of course, based on that, we crafted this strategic plan. And this came as a partnership between MBEC. MBEC is a consultants firm. And basically, when we engaged with Kifwa, they approached us, they requested for us to give them a support, which we appreciated and agreed to do. And of course, we did it for them as a support, as a contribution, so that to make the industry better, make them future ready, and make them prepared to meet the challenges in the industry. And if you look at the sector, the way it is coming up, on the air traffic, there was a drop on year between 2024 and 2023. And basically, there were challenges globally. But when you look at the port, it's a significant growth year on year, almost by 14.33%. And if you look at the last 10 years, the cumulative average growth rate was almost 10.59. So basically what this means for the clearing and forwarding sector, there is growing demand on the sector. So there is need to prepare to be able to handle these growing volumes of cargo. And what that means is to be strategic, to be deliberate about what you are doing, about how you can be able to handle the various opportunities which are coming up. And if you look at the strategic direction which is being proposed, it's basically to be able to drive excellence and innovation. You can't remain static. You must be able to create collaborative platform where you can be able to link with other platforms, sync window with maybe KPA quarters. Yeah.
Dr. Apologies for the disruption.
Yeah.
I believe not all of us could see what is on screen.
Yeah.
So we need to move the podium for better access for all.
So you need to create an institution that is professional and that basically operates on an ethical conduct. And one of the proposals in this strategic plan is for Kifwa to come up with an industry code of conduct to try and make members to self-regulate, if we can put it that way. And then very key and very important to make industry ready in terms of digital transformation. Because basically, everything now is moving to digital. And in this plan, we are talking about good platforms that would be able to integrate with the other platforms which are in the space of clearing and forwarding. I already spoken about how this has come up. And then one thing which we have done in this strategic plan is to tweak a little on that vision statement which was there. And initially you could see it was talking about regional and Kenya. But on this strategic plan, we have tweaked it to make it like it has to have a global outlook to meet the best standard in the globe. Kindly, if you can make it to work. So based on these interactions, there are 6 pillars which have come up, which we feel will be able to guide the industry going forward. And basically based on the key areas of focus, one of them is on governance. Yeah, there we are. Self-regulation, very important. You don't want regulators to be breathing down your necks. So if you can be able to have a discipline of your own good code of conduct, I think you make your environment, you make the ambience of operation better for yourselves. Be able to have a self-sustainable association. Be able to generate revenues away from the member subscriptions. And then, of course, the third pillar is a good governance that is transparent, that focuses on member services. Members want an efficiency, they want a responsible institution, and then self-research-based advocates, where you are able to have a team of guys who are able to do research. Even when you want to drive a policy, it's based on fact, it's based on research. And then, of course, sustainable logistics. You want members to try and move towards green logistics. And the final 60th pillar is on the shift to digital, to have a centralized kind of clearing and forwarding system. which you try to see if you can be able to integrate with the entire ecosystem from the single window, from the terminals, from the port, KRA, basically to try and operate from one window where you can be able to access all the services at the click of a button. And basically, repeating ourselves, is to try and go digital, get transaction management, compliances, a unified data system, and of course, integrate with the other systems. Very, very important. And basically, that's how we have crafted this strategic plan. And just to recap, we have had several meetings with NDC. We had a stakeholder engagement in Mombasa, in Nairobi, in Busia 5 days ago, and then today, which has culminated in this launch. So we want to wish Kifwa the best. This strategic plan has an implementation matrix. It shows clearly when to hit a specific activity, when to undertake a specific objective. But basically, the foundation of this strategic plan is on the digital and revamping the Kifwa to make it future ready, to be able to meet the demands which we have seen, like the cargo, which is basically growing in demand. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you too, Daktari. Naomba tumpigie makofi tena. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call short and precise. All right, so let's now receive some remarks by the national chairman. For those particular remarks, I'd like to introduce National Chair Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, Kifwa. Frederick Alo comes our way. So he stepped out for a bit. All right. If it's okay to listen to the remarks from the private sector, for those sentiments from the private sector, please help me welcome Chief Executive. Oh, Mr. Alo is back. All right. Let's go back to Mr. Alo. Okay, so as Frederick Alo joins us, he is the national chair of the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association, Kifwa, and he's an experienced imports operations manager with a demonstrated history of working in the logistics and supply chain industry. Sir, would you need that? Would you need that? Okay. Makofi as he settles in.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. To our chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary, who is just about to join us shortly. Past and present Kifwa Board of Management Committee members present herein. Past and present Kifwa Board of Trustees, government officials present, all our PGS, the private sector business member organizations present, our FIAFA team, presidents of other associations who have graced this event today, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning once again. Firstly, it is an honor to welcome you all this morning for the launch of the Kifwa's inaugural strategic plan. Allow me to take this earliest opportunity to sincerely thank the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Information, Communications, and the Digital Economy, Honorable Kabogo, who is just on his way, for agreeing to preside over this auspicious occasion. Allow me to also thank all our PGAs, led by the Commissioner General, Kenya Revenue Authority, whom we were in contact with, and has some other engagements out of the country, but who is represented by Mr. Commissioner, Mr. Chege Macharia, Captain William Ruto, KPA Managing Director, present, the new kid in the block, the KDU number plate, Mr. Nyarandi Justus, who was fortunately one of our consultants that we are engaging, and we are very much happy that your appointment just came when we were undertaking this very important exercise through your consultancy firm and the MBEC team led by Dr. Aroni, former MD Gishirindwa, and the rest of the team. Mr. Ngarama of Kentrade, whom we walked a very good journey with, Mr. Bwana of Kenya Airports Authority, and all the PGAs, business member organizations present, asanteni sana. So ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, Kifwa is the sole representative of all clearing and forwarding and warehousing companies in Kenya. Having been founded in the year 1998, Kifwa was established to represent the interests of its members, given the crucial role that they play in facilitating international trade by managing customs clearance, logistics, and documentation for the movement of goods across our national and international borders. The association has been executing its mandate by undertaking several activities, with key ones, just but to mention a few, being representing our members' interests in policy formulation, regulatory matters affecting the logistics sectors, where we have been collaborating with government agencies and private partners in cargo clearance to enhance trade in our industry, to enhance trade logistics in our country. In short, Kifwa, we want to move from just mere problem reporters to solution providers. Again, we have a responsibility on capacity building to enhance our members' skills and knowledge in logistics, as was correctly submitted by my senior, Mr. Sam Njoroge. Kifwa has been partnering and collaborating with stakeholders across the supply chain to promote synergy and efficiency. We've been ensuring that our members adhere to international best practices and standards in freight forwarding, customs brokerage, and warehousing. We've also been conducting research that drives innovation and informed decision-making and providing valuable insights that shape the future of the logistics sector. Just like in other businesses, our members, the clearing agents, are also faced with increased competitive pressures that force us to concentrate not only on operational business processes, but also on an efficient and effective customer management. Ladies and gentlemen, turning to today's event, the strategic plan that will be launched today has been carefully developed by taking cognizance of our operational environment and charting strategic focus to enable actual delivery on our mandate and aspirations. At the heart of the strategic plan is the imperative to enhance service delivery to our members and customers by being proactive and anticipating their needs before they even arise. The trigger to develop Kifwa's inaugural strategic plan 2025 to 2030 was therefore an onerous task that we embarked on with zeal and zest, knowing that the industry depends on us to get it right, at the same time taking into consideration both the past, the present, and a focus into the future of the logistics sector. This strategic plan has also been developed in a participatory approach in line with the association's core values and is a culmination of extensive consultation, collaboration, and incorporation of feedback from both internal and external stakeholders. This document will also be a critical communication tool to our internal and external stakeholders, which will empower our staff, partners with fairly adequate information which they can hold Kifwa, the leadership, and its members accountable. Effective implementation of a plan of this nature that has these 6 key strategic pillars requires adequate resources. While the resources available are by no means little, they are hardly adequate to facilitate its effective execution. Notwithstanding this financial resource gap, Kifwa is still expected to tackle numerous challenges which hinder the realization of the stated goals. I therefore humbly call upon our partners and well-wishers to assist in bridging this gap for us to realize better results. We are counting on your support in this regard. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to recognize the role our partners and stakeholders continue to play in ensuring that Kifwa achieves its goals and objectives. I wish to particularly recognize the efforts of the government led by His Excellency, President William Ruto, the private sector, our development partners, beneficiaries, and the general public for your continued support. In the modern business environment of just-in-time production and delivery, it has become even more important that traders are guaranteed fast, predictable, and timely release of their goods. It is widely recognized that the application of information and communication technology in logistics has been promoted as a means to enhance logistics competitiveness. In particular, the modern ICT tools help to produce, store, communicate, and disseminate information. Moreover, ICT makes it possible to know the state of the system in real time and therefore to manage and change online parts, vehicle flows, orders, and deliveries. Allow me to sincerely thank Bwana Waziri, whom we've been partnering with at very, very close rate for the support, and we are confident that working together with other cabinet colleagues directly and through the over 45 partner government agencies in cargo clearance, whom we interact with on a daily basis in addressing emerging issues in the logistics sector, we are confident that there would be exponential growth contribution, GDP growth contribution from this sector. Currently, the logistics sector that we are all in contribute to about 9% of the GDP. It is noteworthy to remind us that in the last 10 years, the status of logistics in our nation and the region has improved significantly. However, there are still numerous challenges, including high transport costs, regulatory inefficiencies, fragmented legislations, lack of regional coordination, which continue to hinder trade, economic growth, among others. It befits that I also mention that improved transport infrastructure is a prerequisite for reducing the high transaction costs that have become the norm. The disharmony in transport policies, regulations, and standards have led to increased inefficiency and the cost of doing business. The logistics sector has to also contend with the frequent changes in customs procedures, documentary requirements, high cost of processing information, hence leading to unpredictable business environment. We therefore need to work together with the government and come up with solutions that will address these challenges and inefficiencies if business environment is to be improved. Nevertheless, we are positive that the strategic plan that we are launching today is not only a blueprint, but it will act as a compass direction around which the association will enhance its efforts in working together with government and other stakeholders in addressing the emerging issues and some of the challenges that I have enumerated. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Kifwa leadership, we commit to actively implement this strategic plan and provide the required leadership and guidance. I share my sincere gratitude to the maritime business economic consultants whom we partnered with for their great support in developing this timely strategic plan. I thank our staff for working day and night, not only to have this strategic plan finalized, and launched today, but also in our everyday work in enhancing trade logistics, not only in Kenya, but across the region and the globe. Kifwa, as we have been, we've been likened to that beggar in the street who walks with a golden plate asking for those pieces of silver. We must change that narrative and have the better interest of our membership. Certainly, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be a team player at Kifwa on this journey to achieve these strategic goals. We'll keep on transforming the industry to grow to greater heights. Thank you, and God bless us all. Asanteni sana.
Mr. Frederick Allo, ladies and gentlemen, the National Chair of Kifwa. Another round of applause will be highly appreciated to him, or rather for him. Now, it's very crucial and it's very important to hear from the private sector. So for sentiments from the private sector, help me welcome Chief Executive Officer of Shippers Council of Eastern Africa, that is Mr. Agayo Ogambi. Agayo has been at the entity for the past 15 years and 6 months. Karibu sana, Mr. Agayo. I hope it's not a big stretch there. Floor is yours.
Madam Moderator, that must be AI information. Yes, I've been there for the last 15 years.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Allow me to recognize the presence of our Vice Chair, Madam Elizabeth Kimkung. Thank you very much, Vice Chair. I have done that intentionally because every speaker who has come here has just mentioned gentlemen and not any lady. So that was very intentional. I also want to recognize the presence of the MD KPA, Captain Ruto, thank you very much. The presence of Mr. Madenge, FIEFA, thank you very much. My friend, Mr. Roy, immediate past chair of Kifwa, thank you very much for this father to grow the organization. I also see my friend, Mr. Bor from KPA, thank you very much. My earthly neighbor, Mr. Kidenda, asante sana. I've been told to take a few minutes, and I want to speak to a few items. But before that, I just want to say congratulations to Kifwa for the launch of the strategy. They could be internally be excited, but beyond that, even us as Shippers Council are very, very excited about the launch of the strategy. I'm so sure KRA, represented by Mr. Chege, is too, also is very excited by the strategy. KPA is also very excited by the strategy. The core reason being we want to see a better clearing professionals in the country. So we're really excited and we want to congratulate them. Let's put our hands together for Kifwa for the launch of the strategy. I'll start by a warning. The launch of the strategy is just one part. The implementation is the most critical part. So what will we be helping you with as private sector? We want to monitor and ensure that you deliver on the promises. We'll be looking at the KPIs. Karibu Waziri, thank you very much.
Let's all rise and humbly welcome our chief guest, Honorable William Kabogo, Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Communications and Digital Economy.
Waziri, karibu sana. You may take your seat. Waziri, before you, my name is Agayo Ogambi. I'm the CEO for the Shippers Council of Eastern Africa, a membership-based organization that represents the interest of cargo owners and whom the clearing agents serve in their businesses. I was just mentioning that we are excited by the launch of this strategy because it gives us a tool to appreciate, to commend, and also to sanction the agents when they're not doing the right thing. So we're really excited. And I was just thinking aloud while sitting there that they have done quite a bit without a strategy. So by doing this strategy, they have raised the bar. So we expect much more from the fraternity. Our chief guest, I want to speak to 3 expectations. Number 1, we expect a greater compliance level. We will expect that working with the cargo owners, and the clearing agents will be more compliant to the regulatory requirements and thus save the industry delays and cost of import and export. Number two, we expect to reduce the cost of doing business in the region. Currently, the cost of logistics about 30 to 40% of the total cost of production, quite a big amount, compared to the Asian region where it's only 8%. So we are still extremely expensive in terms of logistics cost. So one of the things that we'll be expecting from the clearing agents is enhanced professionalism and also an aspect of reduction of cost. My friend Captain Ruto will tell us that we pay quite a bit of money for storage because of inefficiencies and challenges. So our expectation is that at the implementation, after the implementation of this, the cost of storage will also go down. So that's the measure we'll be expecting from you. And then lastly from us, we also expect that the clearing agents, in becoming professionals, will adapt the pre-arrival processing that will also help in the reduction of storage costs and delays at the port. The port is not a storage facility. So we expect the clearing agents working with the cargo owners to help in expediting cargo clearance. Previously, before the port charter, we were always blaming KPA. We were always blaming the cargo owner. But now we expect the three people to work together to ensure that we become efficient. And then lastly, so that I don't take too much of our time, there's a lot of changes in the environment. So how does the future look like? The future is in automation and digitalization. So we expect the clearing agents to adapt to automation and digitalization. We have been working closely with Kentrade, and we want to appreciate the work of Kentrade. We want to appreciate the work of the ICMS, but we expect much more. The globe is talking about AI. We expect the government to work with the private sector to ensure that we adapt to the latest technologies. I talked about compliance. In terms of compliance, we are not where we should be. Our levels of compliance is a major area of concern, and we expect that there'll be improvement. Skills development, thank you for previous speakers. When you are highly skilled, then you become professional, and you're able to do things rightly and on time. We appreciate that together we have been working on improving the regulations, and I want to appreciate the leadership of Kifwa, that together we have sent 3 memorandums. We have sent a memorandum on the tariff review, and we are happy Captain Ruto has received our memorandum on the KPA tariff review, and the end product will be appropriate for the industry. We have also sent a memorandum on the mandatory insurance cover, and last week we had a meeting with the CEO. Our memorandum was also well received. So Kifwa members, there's a lot of expectations. You have given us a rope to hang you if you don't do well. You have given us a rope to applaud you if you do well. So the onus is on you to ensure that you deliver on the mandate. In my closing remarks, I just once again want to thank you on behalf of the Shippers Council, and I wish you every success as we work together to address issues around compliance, cost, and efficiencies. With those many remarks, I thank you very much, and once again, congratulations to Kifwa. Asanteni sana.
And thank you. Thank you very much. Those were remarks from the private sector by Mr. Agayo Ogambi. Bona Chief Guest, once again, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I'd just like to say, while you were away, we were also able to launch the new Kifwa logo. Now, moving on, to give his remarks from a regional point of view, let's give a warm welcome to the Federation of East African Freight Forwarders Association, FIAFA, Director John Madhange, who has been with FIAFA for the past 15 years and 7 months, and a consultant and training expert on freight transport logistics. Makofi kwake tafadhali. Karibu sana.
Good morning. Our chief guest, National Chairman of Kifwa, our dear partners from the government and the private sector, distinguished colleagues, captains of the industry, good morning once again. Good morning. This is a very exciting moment indeed. I'm standing before you on behalf of the president of FIEFA, Mr. Charles Mwembembesi, who is the chairman of the Uganda Freight Forwarding Association, but he was not able to join us because of other commitments, but he delegated that role to me. And allow me also to recognize board members of FIEFA from Kenya and outside of Kenya. Maybe you can just rise up so that we see you. Zanzibar, Sudan, that is Kenya. We are so many of us. So we confirm that we are with Kifwa on this journey. Allow me also in a very special way to recognize Mr. Njoroge, because the story, the history that he was giving about Kifwa, I was his student. So I consider him to be my father in logistics. And because of that, when you speak before your father, you recognize your father. Thank you very much, sir. It is both an honor and personal privilege to stand before you today, representing the president of the Federation of East Africa Freight Forwarders Associations at this pivotal occasion, the launch of the strategic plan for Kenya International Freight and for Freight Forwarding Association. At a personal level, this moment carries significance, memories. My journey in the freight logistics industry began right here as the executive officer of Kifwa during its formation just before the turn of the century. I have since had the honor and privilege of serving as the founding executive director of FIEFA, and today I serve as a board member and a technical advisor to FIEFA. But why am I saying this? I am saying this because for what I am and the journey that I've walked, this has come from Kifwa. Few experiences have shaped my professional path as profoundly as Kifwa has, and I remain deeply committed to the growth of this association and the freight forwarding sector as a whole, because Kifwa is my home. Now, Kifwa is a story of leadership, of resilience, and of impact. As the largest freight logistics association in the region and a founding member of FIEFA, Kifwa has long stood at the center of regional trade facilitation. It represents the sector that drives significant volume of cargo across East Africa, contributing substantially to growth of government revenue and trade facilitation and regional and economic integration. It is important to recall that FIEFA formative journeys, that is Federation of East Africa Freight Forwarding Associations, Kifwa hosted and providing the unwavering institutional support, playing the motherly role of nurturing the young federation. This is very important because without what Kifwa did then, we wouldn't be talking about the federation. This foundation and support enabled the association, that is the federation, to establish a secretariat in 2010, and we honor the legacy and support from Kifwa. And that is not all. Kifwa piloted the regional training program that is being steered by the Federation of East Africa Freight Forwarders Association, piloted that program in Kenya before it was rolled out in the rest of the region. Again, I want to share my appreciation to Kifwa for playing that leadership role. Kifwa is also the main champion that is steering implementation of the FIEFA-sponsored self-regulation framework for the region. Again, I want to pass my appreciation to Kifwa. Today, the federation that Kifwa and a few other members started has grown to be a regional association with 8 members almost going to 9, including South Sudan, as we have seen. We have Zanzibar, we have Rwanda, we have Burundi, and we are currently in discussion with the DRC, Ethiopia, and Somalia, and we are growing. So what Kifwa started, what they planted with a few members that were there, has grown to be what it is today, and we are very proud about FIEFA. Today's launch of Kifwa strategic plan is more than a ceremonial milestone. It marks a deliberate step into the future. Strategic planning is fundamental to any organization success. It is the anchor of good governance, sustainability. It provides clarity in direction, purpose in action, and discipline in execution. In a sector constantly reshaping global trends, regulatory shifts, technological disruptions, strategy is no longer an option. You must plan, you must know where you are going and how you are going to get there. And there is no choice. So the decision by Kifwa to come up with a strategic plan is very, very critical, and it's a key driver to its success going forward. That said, the launch of a strategic plan is not an end in itself. It is just the beginning, as has been said. Implementation is where the test lies. I am confident, though, that Kifwa leadership, with the support of its members and partners, will bring this plan to life with the same vigor and resolve and commitment that has defined the association's past. The challenge now is to turn this intent of the strategic plan into measurable outcomes and to ensure that we are able to impact with this strategic plan on our stakeholders and on the ecosystem, the economic ecosystem that we support. It is a journey that will require focus, agility, and above all, unity of purpose. And why is this important? This is important because I was just doing some check in terms of how the global trends are happening. I was checking WTO, and I was seeing that about 2024, the value of global trade was about $30 trillion US. $30 trillion US. That is the global trade in goods. 35% of that is logistics. 35% of that is logistics. So we know our space. This is why it is very important for us as an industry to position ourselves and be able to do what we have to do to ensure that we enable and we facilitate trade. On behalf of FIEFA, I wish to reaffirm our full and unwavering support to Kifwa as a strategic partner and regional platform. FIEFA stands ready to collaborate in areas of shared priorities, including professionalism, advocacy, digitalization, and policy harmonization. But Kifwa remains a key pillar of our regional agenda, your success is our collective success. And therefore, when Kifwa succeeds as a mother to the Federation, FIEFA succeeds, and we are very proud about that. To the board, the management, and all the stakeholders and partners, I want to congratulate all of us. And I'm saying this because it's not only about Kifwa, it's about us collectively. The CEO of Shippers Council of East Africa, who are our employers in the logistics sector, talked about the challenges that come with the strategic plan. I just want to say one thing. Kifwa is the one that established Shippers Council of East Africa. And it hasn't gone out of my mind, the strategic meeting that we had somewhere, the consultant that was hired to ensure that the cargo owners are brought on board to ensure that we work together towards pushing our economic agenda forward. So we are one, we are partners, and we need to continue in that spirit. Last but not least, if he ever holds a regional logistics conference. Last year, but one, it was hosted in Kenya at the Safari Park Hotel. This year it was, last year, but one, yeah, last year it was hosted in Tanzania. Next year is going to be hosted in Burundi. This year is going to be, thank you for correcting me. This year is going to be hosted in Burundi next month. So allow me to use this platform to tell the logisticians we are meeting in Bujumbura in August. Thank you very much, and I wish you well.
And we wish you well too. Thank you very much. If we just appreciate him a bit more. All right. I'm sure you've not seen his name on the program, but it will not be justice if we do not hear him speak. So let's welcome Justus Nyarandi, Director General of the Kenya Maritime Authority. Atuongeleshe kidogo, naomba tumpigie makofi. Asante.
CS, captains of various in the industry, good morning. My name is Omai Nyarandi. Today could be my 5th day as Director General of Kenya Maritime Authority. But I'm not new to the industry, but I'm wearing 2 hats here today, and I'll take only 3 minutes. When I left Northern Corridor Transit and Transport Coordination Authority in end of September, I did partner with Kenya Ports Authority to do the tariff, the one you have mentioned, the one that you have said your input was taken care of. In the stakeholder engagement we had in Nairobi, I was pulled aside by the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Wycliffe Wanda, after complaining about the increases and beating us hard. We did have a conversation. And the conversation was about Kifwa. And that conversation led to my company with my colleagues called Maritime Business to partner with Kifwa to craft this strategic plan. When I told my colleagues about it, they were very excited, till I said it was pro bono. Apart from being free of charge, we had also to cater for some of the expenses. We had a choice. And the choice we made was to contribute to this industry. At that time, as my colleague Dr. Aaron can tell you, we had been approached also to do a strategic plan for Nyali Golf as a contribution. I'm an 18 handicap. I play golf, and it was going to be a contribution. But we chose to instead devote our time to crafting this strategic plan. And Mr. Wanda will tell you that it has not come cheap, because the document we envisaged and we thought would take a short period to craft ended up growing its own legs, if I can do a direct translation. We've had stakeholder engagements from Mombasa, meeting the NDC. At the end of it, they bring a bill to me, and I have to scratch and go to somewhere in Greenwood to convince my colleague, Mr. Gishiri Ndua, that can you also put your second signature here? But I'm glad that today we are here to launch this important strategic plan, the first ever for this association. the only way you can reward and make my other colleagues be happy is if we implement this plan. 2 years down the line, I would like to come to this forum like this, and I listen to the achievements. Now I'm the DG of KMA, a regulator in the shipping industry. I count for your support. For the past 1 week, because I joined last Thursday, I've received various compliments, but also various issues that I have to deal with. And I hope with your support, we can be able to take this industry much further because we can contribute a lot. I'll stop there. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much. Please let's appreciate him one last time. I'd also like to mention that we are live on Kifwa Connect. That is on YouTube. We are live. The event, the launching of the strategic plan is live on YouTube on Kifwa Connect. Now, from the Kenya Ports Authority, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Captain William K. Ruto, who is a mariner and has practiced and worked for both the private and public sector, where under the private sector, he worked at sea, starting his career as a cadet in 1991. Now, I think the rest is history. If we decided to go all the way from 1991 to date, we'll be going too far. So a round of applause for him as he gives us his sentiments. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Our chief guest, CS, National Chairman of Kifwa, industry captains, partners and trade facilitation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both a privilege and pleasure to stand before you today as we join Kifwa in launching its strategic plan for the period 2025-2030. Let me begin by congratulating Kifwa on this important milestone. Crafting a forward-looking strategy is never a routine task. It is bold and necessary step in landscape as dynamic and complex as ours. In logistics and freight forwarding, standing still is not an option. At the Kenya Ports Authority, we view Kifwa not simply as a stakeholder, but as a core player in the logistic value chain. Your members, the licensed custom agents and freight forwarders, are the human link between our ports and the pulse of the national economy. The strategic plan you launched today reflects clarity, ambition, and deep alignment with both national and regional development goals. It focuses on key priorities: trade facilitation, digital transformation, and enhanced industry standards, all of which are shared targets between Kifwa and Kenya Ports Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, they say numbers tell a story, and I would want to appreciate and to thank Kifwa for the support that they have given to Kenya Ports Authority, that in 2024, Kenya Ports recorded a total container throughput of over 2 million TEUs and handled 41.1 million tons. Without your support, we couldn't have been where we have been now. And I really want to take this opportunity to thank you all, because we say without the efficiency of the clearing agents, nothing will move in the port. And I want to thank you all because sometimes some of you even call me at midnight just to see to it that their consignments have been cleared. I want also to appreciate the government agencies that have been also facilitating this trade and also supporting our Kifwa team, who have been so efficient in clearing goods in our port. In total cargo throughput, both strong indicators of our continued relevance as the region's premier gateway. The momentum has continued into 2025, and as of June 2025, the port had already posted a half-year results between January and June 2025. The port had already registered 21.3 million metric tons, compared to 19.7 million tons that we handled in 2024. This is a growth of 1.6 million tons or 8.1%. And we expect by close of the year, we should pass the 10% mark or 45 million tons. In terms of container traffic, we've already passed the 1 million mark, which is more than 8% compared to what we handled by June last year, which was 948,000 TEUs. Most notable both imports and exports saw a double-digit growth. Import increased by 48,793 TEUs. That's a 13.4%, while exports rose by 50.72 TEUs. That's 14.4%. I want to thank all our exporters for the support that they've given us as Kenya Port Authority, and will continue supporting you. I think our visit to the farms last year has shown tremendous improvement. And I want to continue to say that as KPA, we will continue supporting our exporters so that we can grow the exports for this country. These figures tell a story of growing confidence, greater efficiency, and stronger regional trade flows. We cannot tell this story without acknowledging the success that has been largely in the part powered by the efforts of Kifwa members. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to share the recent milestone in infrastructure and trade facilitation. As we focus on long-term strategy, we must also take stock of tangible progress happening across our network. Just last week, the authority was handed over by the contractor the newly completed Shimoni Fish Port, a specialized marine fishing facility that is set to transform the southern coastline into a thriving blue economy hub, opening new opportunities for artisanal and industrial fishers. The Shimoni Fish Port represents a unique strategic shift in our approach to port operations, diversifying beyond cargo handling to focus on specialized fisheries infrastructure. The port, which is equipped with modern facilities for vessels landing, fish processing, cold storage, will ultimately bolster our fisheries value chain. At the same time, it will generate employment opportunities and boost the economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, Lamu Port, which achieved a major milestone with anticipated launch of a weekly direct service by CMA CGM, bringing at least 4,000 TEUs monthly. This is not just a service, it is a testament. It confirms Lamu emergence as a viable maritime gateway, as envisioned in our agreements with global shipping lines. And I want to take this opportunity to really thank CMA CGM for showing the confidence and launching 3 weekly vessels in our Lamu port beginning from August 24th. Kifwa members, I think now this is also a new area for you that we need your members now to start opening up offices in Lamu as we now see the operationalization of Lamu Port. Further, inland, Kisumu is resetting itself as keynote for regional trade through deliberate investment and resilient infrastructure, including the cruise freight terminal, revived landing sites, and expanding rail connectivity. We are laying the groundwork for the multimodal integrated logistic corridor around Lake Victoria. As we look to the horizon, we see powerful trends reshaping logistics, the rise of digital supply chain, the African Continental Free Trade Area, green logistics, and strategic growth for regional infrastructure. At KPA, we remain committed to partnership that are proactive, professional, and people-centered. And Kifwa continues to exemplify these values. From port efficiency and policy reform to custom clearance, interland connectivity, Our journey is only as strong as our collaborations. And today's launch is a compelling reminder that we are on the right path together. In conclusion, let me once again commend Kifwa's leadership, the strategy development team, and your entire membership across the country. The strategic plan is more than a document. It is a declaration of intent to raise the bar, to set the new standards, to drive Kenya's logistics center into a smarter and more competitive future. Let us collaborate with purpose, adapt with courage, and deliver with excellence. Thank you, and may this be the beginning of a stronger chapter in trade facilitation for Kenya and wider region. Asanteni.
Asante sana. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Kenya Ports Authority Managing Director, Captain William Ruto. Keeping it very short and precise, as we had earlier said. One round of applause as he takes his seat kindly. Our program is moving quite smoothly, I must say. Now, for remarks from the Kenya Revenue Authority on behalf of the government agencies and trade facilitation, Chege Macharia, Commissioner for Border Control and Enforcement at the Kenya Revenue Authority, now joins us. Prior to this deployment, Mr. Macharia was a Chief Manager in the Intelligence and Strategic Operations Department at the KRA. He has also worked for the Directorate of Criminal Investigation as a Chief Inspector. Mr. Macharia, if you please join us. Tumpigie makofi. Asante sana. All right.
Our chief guest, Honorable William Kaboko. Kifwa leadership, led by the chairman, Mr. Olo. Distinguished guests, good mornings. I'm not here as a policeman. I used to be a policeman. I used to be a policeman many years ago. Many years ago, before I joined KRA. So, first receive greetings from our Commissioner General. He is out of the country, and he would have wished to be with you. But here I am to represent him. Secondly, let me say that if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. If you want to walk far, you walk together. When you listen to what Mr. Joroge has presented, the history, it has come out very clearly that you have walked very far. And the reason why you have walked very far is because you have walked with each and all of us. Each and every one of us. That is the reason why you are where you are today. Not only you, that is the reason why KRA is where, or we are where we are today. That is why KPA, Kentrade, KMA, you are where you are today, because we have partnered. Thirdly, let me say that the role we play is complementary. We complement each other. We don't compete. If we are to compete, we could not be here. We are here because we have agreed to partner. Where I have a weakness, or KRA has a weakness, you are there to support. Where Kenya Ship has council has a weakness, we are there to support. And that is why we are studying the way we are. So let us continue the same way. With Kifwa, let me say that KRA has been taking Kifwa seriously. And the chair can bear me witness. Last month, we had a sitting, and we agreed that each and every month we'll be having a meeting so that the issues that are revolving around Kifwa, we are able to address. Each and every quarter, we are supposed to have a meeting also to review all what we have achieved together. I have a lot to talk about Kifwa, but let me read the speech from our Commissioner General. These are now greetings from the Commissioner General. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a pleasure and honor to join you this morning for the official launch of the Kenya International Freight Warehousing Association Kifwa Strategic Plan 2025-2030. On behalf of the Kenya Revenue Authority, I commend the Kifwa leadership for this bold and forward-looking step. The strategic plan provides a clear vision, articulate key objectives, and outline a structured roadmap aimed at transforming Kenya's logistics sector to meet global standards of professionalism and efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, Kifwa plays a central role in Kenya's trade facilitation framework as a critical link between global commerce and our national economic development. Your daily operations, whether at the port, border posts, warehouses, or within the digital corridor of the custom ICMS, are indispensable to enabling trade. The launch of this strategic plan is both timely and visionary. It aligns seamlessly with Kenya's broader agenda to become a regional logistic hub, supported by modern infrastructure, streamlined customs procedures, and strategic integration within regional and continental trade blocs such as the EAC, COMESA, AFTAC, and other international markets. At KRA, we are particularly encouraged by the plan's emphasis on professionalism, policy advocacy, digital transformation, and stakeholder collaboration. These priorities mirror our own strategic direction of modernizing ICT infrastructure and enhancing trade facilitation efficiency. Distinguished guests, allow me to briefly highlight a few key areas where the goals outlined in Kifwa's strategic plan align with our shared priorities at KRA. The first one is custom modernization and digital transformation. The future of customs lies in smart systems, data-driven risk management, and fully automated processes. As part of our modernization agenda, we plan a major upgrade of ICMS in the 2025-2026 financial year. This upgrade, which your members will interact with regularly, will be rolled out in phases to ensure minimum disruptions. Furthermore, KRA is exploring the use of artificial intelligence to drive the next frontier in customs operations. Trade facilitation and ease of doing business, that is the second one. The successful implementation of the WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement depends on effective coordination between public and private sector stakeholders. Kifwa and its members are instrumental in creating a more predictable, transparent, and efficient trading environment, and we look forward to deepening this collaboration. The third is revenue mobilization and economic growth. In the past financial year, KRA collected over 2.57 trillion in revenue, surpassing our target. Custom revenue accounted for more than Kenya shillings 879 billion. This achievement is partly attributable to the diligence and accuracy of freight forwarders in custom declarations, and we thank you for your contribution. Let me state that the role of revenue collection is for all of us, not customs. Kifwa plays a major role. The moment you do that, or you have that, or you do that declaration in ICMS, what are you doing? You are collecting revenue. So a round of applause for ourselves. Thank you. Compliance and integrity. We continue to promote a compliance culture grounded in mutual trust. Our authorized economic operator AEO program, a flagship initiative recognizes and rewards compliant traders. We urge more of your members to enroll in AEO program in line with your commitment to uphold ethical practices and regulatory compliance. Ladies and gentlemen, as a global trade and logistics continue to evolve, Kifwa must position itself as a responsive and forward-looking institution. We are not saying you have not done so. What we are saying is continue the same. The strategic plan being launched today is the compass that will guide your journey into this dynamic future. KRA remains fully committed to working closely with Kifwa and other stakeholders to streamline processes, reduce the cost of doing business, and enhance Kenya competitiveness. In concluding, I sincerely thank the Kifwa leadership, both the past and present, for your unwavering dedication to the growth of Kenya's logistics sector. I also acknowledge all the stakeholders and partners who contributed to the development of this forward-thinking strategic plan. May this plan usher in a new era of excellence in freight forwarding, warehousing, and logistics across Kenya and the region. Thank you.
And thank you too. Thank you very much. It's only fair to appreciate him one more time. All right, so at this juncture, I'd like to call upon the National Chair to usher in our chief guest, National Chair, Mr. Frederick Olo. Tumpigie makofi akija hapa juu. Asante.
To the chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy, Honorable William Kabogo, all protocols observed, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. First of all, Waziri, let me take this opportunity to thank you. I had already made a maiden speech on behalf of the association, and being our Minister for ICT, the event was being streamlined. I appreciate your presence here on behalf of the Kifwa leadership for finding a time. Maybe in 2 minutes before I usher in Waziri, as the Commissioner General has correctly put it, the people you see around the Kifwa members, around 1,200 companies in the logistics sector, customs, clearing, and freight forwarding in Kenya. These people, out of the 2.571 trillion that Kenya Revenue Authority collected, Kifwa members helped the government in collecting over 879.32 billion Kenya shillings. Simjipigie makofi. And Waziri, you realize that this collection, we did it digitally. If you look at the ICMS in the last financial year, we just ended 30th June, these people registered over 2.19 million entries in the system. Makofi tena. And the total trade, in terms of the total CIF, the total CIF, that is the cost of all the exports and imports are collected, which we transacted as a country, was over 7.6 trillion. These are figures that are already there in the system, but unfortunately, as critical as sectors this entity does not have even an act of parliament that regulates this critical sector. We know customs has other key functions apart from revenue collection. We help in trade statistics, protection of the environment, among others. So Waziri, I know we'll work together on this one and with the government in helping, seeking your support to help have our draft bill, the Kenya Customs Agents and Freight Forwarders Management Bill, enacted is one of our critical pillar number one. Secondly, we've been told about the growth of cargo. Cargo is growing, but our pockets, we do not really grow. I think we need to now devise a system. If you look at our sixth pillar in our strategic plan, we are looking at the issues to do with a centralized clearing and forwarding management system. This thing called the special table really taught us a lesson that if we do not submit our VAT by the 20th, despite us having agreements on our fees being paid in 30 or 60 days, then the challenge of this the special table will greet us. So Mr. Gayo Gambi will be seeking your support as the body representing the interests of the shippers in giving us timely payments. So I know we'll have our meetings, several of them, and one critical issue is the issue of training, capacity building. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, take this opportunity to welcome Waziri. Si tusimame tumpigie makofi akikuja. Welcome, Bwana Waziri, and we do not really take this, your presence for granted. Asante sana. Thank you. Asante.
Tuketi. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Poleni nimechelewa kiasi. I see an old friend here. You know, when I was sitting there and Macharia was speaking, I was reminded by my friends that once a policeman, always a policeman. Fortunately or unfortunately, I am one of you. And I say so because sometimes being inefficient and frustrating creates careers for people. I don't know whether I have said the right thing. Back then, as a matter of fact, when I sat with the chair, I asked him, is this your strategy? The very first one. He said yes. So I figured this has been a very long journey. I remember when one Peter Munyao was the chair of Kifwa. I think that was in 1994 or thereabout, 95. So you've come a long way. A heavy clap for yourselves. Also, I remembered you would never have seen KPAMD, DCI, Commissioner of Customs, all these people in one room, except when your cargo has been seized. And I'm happy to see that they have stopped to be predators. I say this because I had a very big run with Chabi, I think was the chairman, was the commissioner of customs, Duranera and others, while these people were in charge of the port, Brian Undego and others. So really, you've come a long way. Thank you very much for bringing this together. I said sometimes inefficiency causes careers. I was just a young man in Mombasa working for an NGO. Then I saw an opportunity of importing cars. And the most frustrating thing was my clearing agent. He would have a story all the time. Hapana, iko KPA, ina franking machine imeharibika. Hapana, naelekea gate, only to get to the gate 5 days later. And for that reason, I started to wonder, what is this career of clearing agents? What degree do you need? And I had one from Punjab. So I decided, let me venture and see. And believe you me, as things happen, I could get a motor vehicle from the vessel all the way to the gate. Don't ask me how, because I also had problems. I also had problems in between there. I'm happy to see customs, policeman, KRA. When I walked in, somebody said, Captain William Ruto. I said, who that? My president is here. So, Bana, I thought you're my boss. But karibuni sana. Nashukuru sana kuona vile how far you have come. And this is good for the country, for you to realize that you are partners. No longer the guys who are supposed to be chased all over by everyone seeking. Of course, I will not ask whether you have to go to KPA with some change in your pocket. I know now that you're digitized, that is a story of the past. And we appreciate KRA has come a long way. Before Commissioner of Customs, they finally needed to nail all of us together. And they started what they call KRA, that time headed, I think, by Dr. Zibo. Now we are managing together, so I'm happy. I should come back to field because I am who I am because of being a clearing agent. I know you have had many stories about me. If you Google them, they will be there. That one time I was in school with one Ferdinand or something, Waititu. The other one, I don't know what we used to sell. But those of you who know me and worked with me, they know I was one of the most efficient clearing agents. Turning around a lot of money that time, and I know, Masari, you will not come for me, you're time barred. So this is a lucrative career, and I want to wish you well, all of you that are in this space. Allow me to just go through a couple of lines that have been made. They're asking me why I got a new haircut. And because those that were with me, I never had this haircut. And if you look around, most of them have my style of haircut, only they have put it down. And it is because of time has moved. But I'll tell you it's better because my barber takes less than what it takes from guys with full hair. It is my distinct honor to join you today for the official launch of the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association 2025-2030 Strategic Plan. This inaugural plan marks a critical step in transforming Kenya's logistics sector. It articulates 6 key pillars that aim to improve regulation, strengthen governance, enhance sustainability, embrace digital systems, promote green logistics, and support research-based advocacy. It is a forward-looking blueprint that aligns not only with the aspirations of Kifwa, but also with national and continental development agendas. I commend the Board of Trustees and the entire Kifwa membership and their leadership for steering a consultative and inclusive process. The outcome is a strategic plan that reflects the realities of the logistics sector while charting an ambitious path forward. The launch of this strategy is firmly aligned with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Logistics is a key enabler of better, supporting job creation, lowering the cost of doing business, and expanding market access for MSMEs. I can't remember who it was who gave us statistics of the cost of logistics to be 30% of the total. I did very well in statistics at the university, and it didn't make sense to me why it should be that high. Maybe that is something we need to look into, or probably those guys who do statistics for us are not telling us things as they are. But if that is the case, then we have a long way to go. We have a job to do. My ministry is planning its part through, is playing its part through the Digital Superhighway Program, which includes rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic infrastructure, digitizing government services, and enabling online platforms that support efficiency across public and private sectors. Kifwa's digital transformation agenda, especially the centralized clearing and forwarding management system, is in direct alignment with our strategy. It complements our broader ICT objectives of building a digitally inclusive and efficient economy. The implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area is reshaping trade across Africa with harmonized customs procedures, removal of non-tariff barriers, and growing demand for seamless cross-border logistics. Kenya must position itself as a regional trade and logistics hub. Kifwa's role is central in this effort. Through its investment in professionalization, stakeholder coordination, and digital tools, it can enhance Kenya's competitiveness and support efficient extra-Africa trade routes, from the port of Mombasa to inland corridors across East and Central Africa. In parallel with the digital growth, we must also ensure trust and security in our systems. That is why the government of Kenya plans assess and implement. Well, that's why the government, beg your pardon. That's why the government of Kenya plans accession and implement the Malabo Convention, which actually I have taken to cabinet, on e-commerce, cybersecurity, and personal data protection. This continental framework provides a common standard for safeguarding digital transactions and protecting personal information. As Kifwa digitizes its operations, I encourage the association to embed these principles of data protection and secure information, especially within its proposed centralized platform. This will be key in strengthening user trust and regulatory compliance across borders. The government and the private sector must work together if this strategic plan is to be fully realized. Our role is to provide the right policy and regulatory environment, one that is predictable, transparent, and conducive to innovation and investments. Your role as the logistics industry is to modernize operations, standardize service quality, and maintain a high level of professionalism. Together, we can lower trade costs, improve turnaround times, and make Kenya the gateway of choice for continental trade. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I wish to congratulate Kifwa on this milestone and commend all those who contributed to the development of this strategy plan. It reflects a deep understanding of our national priorities, regional obligations, and the evolving needs of your members. Let us work collectively to implement it in full, and in doing so, accelerate Kenya's transformation into a globally competitive, digitally enabled, and an economic inclusive nation. With those few remarks, I say asante sana and congratulations, Chair and your team. Munisamehe wale nimekanyanga kidogo. Masaria and others.
I'd like for you to go over to your farthest left from my side, the national chair. It is the moment that we've all been waiting for today. National chair, if you don't mind, please join Mr. Waziri. The moment is finally here, ribbon cutting and the buzzing of its first Kifwa strategic plan. Bwana Waziri, would you like for us to give you a countdown? That would help, fantastic. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a huge congratulations for the first Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association Kifwa Strategic Plan 2025-2030, spearheaded by Honorable William Kabogo. A huge celebration right there. All right. Waziri, if you just position yourself properly with the national chair for a photo session. There you go. Celebrate good times, come on. Very nice. Could we please have George Kidenda, Samuel Njoroge, and David Ngarama. George Kidenda, Samuel Njoroge, David Ngarama, please join the photo session.
So bring your good times and your laughter.
It's a celebration for all of us.
We gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time.
Photo session for those three. Okay.
We gonna celebrate.
National chair, I'd like to find out. Is the book movable for us to carry the book?
Come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone.
Okay, let's have the photo session, sir. All right. Thank you, George, Samuel, and David. Let's now have Joshua, Agayo, and John Madenge. Mr. Joshua Roni, Agayo Ogambi, and John Madenge. Kindly join the CS and the national chair for another photo session for the three of you. Congratulations. Right.
A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times.
Thank you very much.
We gon' celebrate.
Let's now have Captain Bruto, Chege Masharia, and Wycliffe Wonder.
Let's all celebrate
Wycliffe,
and have a good time.
executive from Kifwa.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together.
It's a milestone. Let's smile, gentlemen. Let's smile. Keep the smiling going. Fantastic. All right. And now let's all have the team behind the strategic plan. The National Management Committee. Let's join National Chair and Waziri. National Management Committee.
It's a celebration.
It is truly a celebration.
Let's celebrate.
Finally, a lady. Let's give her a round of applause.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here.
Waziri, we need to look into this sector. They don't like hiring ladies, eh? Iko shida? Let's keep the smiles going. Thank you. All right, so former national chair, former national chairman. Former national chairman, kindly make your way to the booth. Former national chairman. The book is movable, I see. Former national chairs.
It's a celebration.
It truly is a celebration.
Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication.
All right, so these are the former national chairs. Thank you very much for being a part of the Kifwa journey. Asanteni. So now could we have presidents from the other associations within the region? Presidents from all the other associations within the region. Please come to the front. Plus Mr. Mavenge. Presidents from the other associations together with Mr. Mavenge. Please come to the front for a photo session as well. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Let's take our seats. Let's take our seats. It's a happy moment for each and every one in this room. If we could please take our seats. Just stand there. So I'd like to, it's time for us to actually appreciate our chief guests and each and every one of us for participating in this milestone today. So please do allow me to call upon the national chair once again. I know it's a bit stressful. Tumefanya gym mingi sana leo, naomba utusamee. Just come to the front with the chair board of trustees. Please come to the front. And I think that podium is going to restrain us. Yes. Let's get rid of the podium. It will not allow us to be as free as we would like to be. It's a day of celebration, so we must do it fully. National Chair, with the Board of Trustees, would like for you to appreciate our chief guest, Honorable Kabogo, the Cabinet Secretary of ICT. There it is. Makofi tafadhali for our chief guest as he received his gift. Kifwa does appreciate you very, very much. All right. So as you put it down, Bwana CS, would like your presence back on top of the podium. Thank you very much, Natron Chair. Thank you very much, sir. Board of Trustees. Now, for our CS, I'd like for you to gift our other partners, just one by one. I'd like to call them by name as they bring themselves to the front. Mr. Njoroge Sam, George Kidanda, Dr. Lillian Nyawanda, the MBAC consultants, just one by one. Okay. Mr. Njoroge? It really is a celebration. Makofi kwao. Asante sana. You're highly appreciated. George Kidanda, following sit. Thank you, Bwana CS. Let's give them time for their photo session. All right, following sit should be Mr. George Adui to pick for the commissioner. George Adui to pick for the commissioner. Thank you. Dr. Lillian Nyawanda. Oh, picking for the commissioner. He's representing the commissioner. Now, MBAC consultants. Makofi. Dr. Arona. All right, Bwana CS, I think to let's clap for Bwana CS to memchokesha. Asante sana. Now, I'd like to call upon Captain Rito to hand over the next set of gifts. Captain Rito tafadhali. Asante. Roy Mwanthi. Thank you. Roy Mwanthi, asante sana. Thank you. William Ojonyo? Mr. William Ojonyo? Highly appreciated, sir. There you go. Let's give them some time for a nice photo session. Please do smile for the cameras. Asante. Mr. John Mavenga.
Shombo marumuni shombo, shombo marumuni shombo, shombo marumuni shombo, ulichinga umukongo.
problem, I know all of you. So let's just have a seat. In the next 3 minutes, be done. Thank you. So I want to give the closing remarks and vote with thanks. No, I guess. And then Mr. Maina will pray for us, giving a closing prayer once I'm done. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I stand here to offer heartfelt gratitude to those who made this event possible. First and foremost, allow me to sincerely take the opportunity to thank God Almighty for making this day possible. It has been a journey, but God has seen us through. The strategic plan process is not only a task. It requires good coordination, well-thought process, and travels. And God has enabled us to achieve and reach this far. Our special gratitude to His Excellency, our chief guest, I don't know whether now His Excellency and the Waziri, which one is which, for agreeing to grace this occasion and be our chief guest. In a special way, since the commissioner has left, we want to thank the Commissioner General, Mr. Humphrey Wataga, for agreeing to be part of us and be sent to us a representative, irrespective that is out of the country. Let me also acknowledge the government entities who are present today and who also supported us in one way or the other. Let me start with the Kenya Revenue Authority, who was represented by Deputy Commissioner. The Kenya Bureau of the Standards, who was represented by Manager, Mr. Cheng Ozia, on behalf of the MD, she's also out of the country, the CEO Kentrade, the Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Maritime Authority, the DG NTSA, Mr. Njia Ozia, he just left. We thank you. And IRA, Pastor was here, and the General Manager, Compliance and Regulation was also here. We appreciate you so much for being part of us and supporting us this far. I kindly allow us also to support my other colleagues from the private BMOs. Obviously, I start with Ogabi, the CEO, Shippers Council of East Africa. Thanks so much for coming. My colleague, also from CEO, Kenya Ships Agents Association, Elijah, also was here. I think he's just stepped outside. Thank you so much. The presidents from the regional associations, thanks so much. Mask Kenya, the representative of the MD is here. Thanks so much. National Bank, the manager, Arambe, is here. Tradewinds Aviation, also present. Apex, also present. Thanks so much. Other partners, Swissport, also Edwin was here. Thanks so much. Trademark Africa, Conzolo was here. GIZ, John. I've seen John somewhere. John was here from GIZ. And obviously the FIAFA, the entire FIAFA Secretariat for working with us this journey. Our consultant, MBEC, and captains of the industry. For those I have not mentioned, please feel acknowledged and much appreciated for sparing your time to be with us in this momentous time. Let me also appreciate our founder members and the board members who saw it wise to join us, and all other board members who have served in Kifwa. I saw Mr. Karaoke, the former national secretary. You have to tell just to wave. I saw Madam Jane, Madrid, any form of board Kifwa officials who are here. Dr. Chris is Dr. Honorable Chris Bichage. He's also here. Thanks so much. I think I got it right. I saw Madam Ruth. I saw Catherine. I saw Nafula, Josephine, former National Treasurer, Mr. Maina. Mr. Maina just also is one of the people who employed me. So I treat him with a lot of honor. Thanks so much. Mr. Madenge, my mentor. Mr. Madenge is the founder executive officer before he came in, and he has really worked with us. Thanks so much. And Mr. Madenge and Elias kindly also pass our regards to the president of FIAFA, Mr. Charles, for agreeing to, besides his scheduled program, just to send you to come and represent him. A big thank you to our consultant led by Mr. Joshua Roney for coming up with a wonderful strategic plan, sharing valuable insights and roadmap in the plan.
History shows that the implementation of strategic plan is usually weak, or progress made is lower than anticipated. But you have outlined strategies and institutional innovations for addressing core implementation and challenges. And as our executive officer, we want to make a commitment that your strategic plan 2025-2030 is not going to just be a document. We are going to ensure, as the Secretariat, with the support of the board and the support of the members, that we see it fully implemented, but only if you give us the support, you stand with us and you work with us. As I conclude, let me thank our entertainers, Kayamba Africa, for keeping us entertained. I hope you liked the music. Did you like it? They are still going to be with us. To the hotel, the Sereni management, thanks so much. Hilda and your team, the entire sound, the technicians, and everybody who made this to happen. Thank you so much. I will not finish without appreciating my board, led by the national chairman, for working with us and accepting to be part of this. It has not been an easy journey. We have worked, we've made an history, we've done it less than 30 days. We put some pressure on you, but you always give us the support. I saw Mr. Roy Mwandi, the former national chairman. I think he has stepped out. Leon is also there, Mr. Leon. Asante sana. My final gratitude goes to the Kifwa staff, the Secretariat, for their outstanding planning and execution. All those who have taken part in one way or the other ensure that Kifwa logo is unveiled and the strategic plan is successfully launched. Your hard work has truly paid off. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Let's continue supporting one another. Let's partner. Let's not be competitors. At this juncture, allow me to welcome Mr. Maina to give us a closing prayer. Then after that, you are free to interact, to network, and know somebody, have a business network with your neighbor or somebody to the next table. With that point, may we all be on our feet. May we stand. May we all stand. Thank you so much, Mr. Aina.
Is it good morning? Good morning, everybody. My name is Timothy Maina, Director of Horizon Express Company Limited. Just 1 minute. When I was National Treasurer, I received some application for CEO. And one of the application was Wanda. And I think at that time I played and I said, I asked God to help me so that we can now be able to sort out the many applications that we had received. And God showed us Wanda should be the one to take over Kifwa. And from there, I've never regretted, and I'm sure members, you have seen what he has done. Chairman, I think we did deliver. And thank you, Mr. Wanda. When we started, this is not how we were, but we can see the fruits. May you continue and may God guide you. I'm saved. Nashiriki kanisa AIC Gong Road, and for that, tushukuru Mungu. Our Father and our God, we want to thank you. This far, you have walked with us. Since the time we started, and even this day, Jehovah, you have been with us, and we want to thank you. For Kifwa to have reached here, Jehovah, we can say you are our Ebenezer. Thank you, Jehovah, for holding us together as Kifwa, for members, and even to reach this stage of strategic plan. How we pray, Jehovah, as we implement this strategic plan, 2025-2030, that you work with us, and that, Jehovah, you make this document a working document. And when we will reach that year, Jehovah, we will say, yes, our Ebenezer, we have seen you. Thank you, our Father, for your grace. Thank you for your protection. Thank you, Jehovah, for even providing unto us as companies and our families. May you lead us, may you guide us. We now release ourselves unto you as we leave this place. May you guide us, Jehovah. For in Jesus' name we do pray and believe. Amen.